Hello everyone, welcome to our Let's Play series of Disco Elysium. I'm Colonel RPG, and I'm very happy to have you here with me, because we are talking with Kim, as he's pulling on his cigarette, and taking some drags. There he is, he's smoking, and I'm not, I'm just looking into the night. He says, they really don't like us here, and the mouth on that kid, Kuno, it's different inland, in Jamrock and the GRIH. Why are they like this, I'm gonna ask. Kim says, it's our fault for leaving this place to the dogs, to the union, to the company, not daring to come here more often. This place has fallen between the cracks, the jurisdictions of our two precincts. And in Jamrock and the JRIH, I'm gonna ask, and he says, he looks at the dark silhouette of the equestrian monument cutting into the night sky and says, we run this city. West of the river is RCM land. It's incredibly hard. Human beings are... He shakes his head. I think he says human beings are incredibly hard. But we are in control. And it's worth it. The organization works. Our systems work. And if they didn't, this city would disintegrate. Night. I think I'm reading into it with our esprit de corps. It's a challenging check, though. Captain Ptolemy Price steps into the yard. The piebald horse waits by the motor carriage, chewing oats out of an oat bag. Seagulls fly overhead, the sky's black. Captain Price wears a black suit and a standard patrol coat as he mounts the horse to head home. Rows of houses on either side, hunching over the sidewalks, and Precinct 41 with its dome roof growing distant. Around him, the streets are silent. A kid on the corner waves at the captain as he takes the turn on Perdition in Maine. The horse neighs. The captain nods back. Thanks, kid, he thinks. He's grateful. I don't know what that is. Is that a memory? We won't change anything here, I'm gonna say. It's very defeatist, but I'm gonna say it. Kim says, probably not. Anyway, positive change happens slowly. We never really get to see the impact of our actions. Yeah. Thank you for this. Yeah. It's getting very cold now. Let's go. He puts out the stub of his cigarette and looks to the door. Yep, let's go inside. I can't see anything. Oh, it's over here. Somewhere. My god, it's so bright. Why is it so bright? And I need to level up my interface, I think. Things that we must do. Just going around my bag of cans. Okay, so interact over here. We have our... This. We can interact with that. It is locked because of our interfacing, and I can use the right buttons to do our thing. I can also save, which is very important. I can also go in here and get our interface. Where the heck is our... Is it... It is. Motorics. You can just go up. I have 2 checks. You know what? Let's go. Let's go with that. 2 checks on that. Damage ledger. Medium. That's right. That's the one I want to do. But also, I want to make sure I have the correct... equipment. Right there. Savoir-faire goes down. Good, good, good. Okay, so damage ledger, interact. What's the chance of that? 83. That's fantastic. I'm gonna open the hidden compartment in the clipboard. Oh yes. Just relax. The 2 sides of the board are slightly... Yeah, I rolled a very low roll as well. 2 and a 4. It's not very low. The 2 sides of the board are slightly misaligned, like a drawer that's come off the slides. All you need to do is bend the plastic on your knee, slowly. The slide snaps back into place. It should be possible to just, you know... Yeah, slide the drawer open. Without resistance or sound, the 2 panels move against each other. The compartment is now open. The 2 ticket stubs and a... what's inside? 2 ticket stubs and a handmade postcard. Okay, pick the ticket stubs up. The two octopuses are smiling, reaching their tentacles towards each other in the colored pencil drawing. The tickets permit access to a zoo in Revachol East. The aquarium costs extra. These let you go there too. What is this? Is that written in there? Fucking kill yourself, you asshole. I'm gonna pick the card up. This wax or thin wax paper has been glued to a piece of cardboard. It sounds like leaves rustling when you pick it up. You see violet flowers, floral patterns, patches of blue. Yeah, that's our smell. Let's smell it. It smells of chewing gum, apricot flavored. Exactly like the gum wrapper you found, the same brand of chewing gum. I'm gonna open it. Familiar handwriting lines the inside of the card, looped round letters in a woman's hand. A young woman in her 20s. My God, this game does read a little bit too much into writing. There is care, effort, and a smile. You think, although that is not something you can read from someone's handwriting. Okay, I suppose that's yeah. Harry, it begins. You're already reading. I wanted to write you a letter so you can read it when you wake up. Maybe it will make you happy. Throw it away, please, says our volition. But it will make me happy. Outside you hear the wind howl. A sudden gale blows in from Martinez, flapping street signs and window blinds. Come outside. What? Our shivers noted that. Far away and outside, the reeds hiss with desperation. Step out. No. Why? No, it's cold. Shut up. I'm gonna keep reading. Your hand shakes, holding the card. It reads, every morning when I step out and you're asleep behind me, I find a little piece of sadness in me. I carry it in my chest down Voyager Road. Every step I take, it grows. By the time I reach the fuel station, it has filled me entirely. I step on the light rail and look back. Sparks fall from the bow collector. I know it will be like this until late afternoon when I get off the 49 and walk back to you. You. Every step I take will get lighter. It almost makes me run. Sometimes I do. I can't believe I met you. I can't believe the happiness I feel with you. You have a vast, vast soul, and I will always, always come back to it. Kisses, kisses, kisses. You feel the air sucked out of your lungs and the blood sucked out of your head. Everything around you gets dark. Small white dots appear. You feel the ledger slip from your hand. What? I didn't die. No, this is what happens when you pass the day, right? What in the world? What?
There is nothing.
We're beginning. We're not in the main menu or anything. We didn't die. Everything is good. I think. This is the ancient reptilian brain talking. The brain that we talked to at the very beginning of the game. There's another Fury in here though, or a couple more actually, but I don't remember their names.
Again.
Nothing.
Nothing, sad brother. No treachery, just blackout.
I'm gonna just lie there, passed out.
Well, almost nothing. There is the ground below you, that's still there. And the small light that's on, fluttering somewhere in the basal ganglia.
Who's that?
That's me. Blue eyes, that's me.
And who's that?
Who is what? He speaks of the sickening longing, the unwell emotion.
Even in the darkness, he's grasping for it, still trying to hold on to the great sorrow slipping in the water. Slimy.
That's our limbic system talking. He speaks of the longing. Even in darkness, he's grasping for it. Yeah, that's the stuff.
Here in the paleo-mammalian cortex, we call it the shadow. Because it's always there.
White mourning, as in to mourn someone, is what I gained. Was that the X something? The...
Bloated corpse of the past resurfacing.
Yeah, that.
Don't prod at it. It will start moving again.
Where's Voyager Road?
There is no Voyager Road. There are no roads, no houses, no lights in the windows. It's all on pause.
So my name appears to be Harry?
Your name is fuck all.
It certainly ain't Harry.
Then what is it?
Your name is passed out on the ground, dragged around by one of the other evil apes. They're taking you somewhere.
Yeah, hopefully to my room. I'm just at my room. Enough. I'm just gonna lie here, motionless.
You think they would let you? Until you disintegrate into biomolecules? No. Someone is breathing on your face now, inspecting your pupils, stupid idiot.
What's that? It's cold.
Yes, they're pouring something on you, something in you, and
It's delicious, says our perception of taste. Sugar water is a common thing to give to people who pass out. I'm not really sure if it actually is a good thing to do that, but it is sort of a tradition that I grew up with. It's a good thing to bring. I don't know if it. I don't remember. I was gonna say to bring your tension back up, but it isn't. That is not. That can't be it. Sugar doesn't make you. You know, if you have a break in your heart tension or blood tension or whatever it's called, blood pressure. That's the word. Glowing lights on a dashboard emerge out of nothingness. Where am I? In the upholstered cabin of Lieutenant Kitsuragi's motor carriage, seated in the driver's basket. The air is thick, with leatherworks and heavy fuel oil. Cold water runs down your chin. Drink, says Kim. Water. The lieutenant is extending a small canister to your mouth. The water is cold, silvery, the stuff of life itself as it pours down your parched throat. The pounding in your head recedes, the darkness parts. Drink, he tilts the canister. You haven't drunk water in 2 days. Did you know the human body is not made to survive on alcohol alone? You need a secondary form of hydration. Yeah, I'm gonna drink. It doesn't heal more, but anyway. With greedy gulps, you down half a liter of cold water. Some of it spills on the driver's seat. The lieutenant pays no heed to it. Yeah, it's leather. It's fine. It doesn't... What happened? He asks. I should ask you the same. You were reading your paperwork, then you passed out. I carried you to my Knima to take you to a hospital. And then you came to. How long was I out? 10 minutes? Yeah. 10 minutes maybe, he says. I came in contact with the burnt out ruins of the past, Lieutenant, is an interesting thing that I could say. I was dehydrated. Fuck it. Start climbing out of the motor carriage. I'm gonna say this. I came in contact with the burnt out ruins of the past, Lieutenant. That does sometimes happen, says Kim. And I also gained another item, Ledger of Failure and Hatred. Did it actually change the name? It changed the name. he hands you the remains of your ledger. You drop this. Are you okay to proceed? I'm gonna nod. Good. The Ledger of Failure and Hatred is a special item that can be used both as an interactable and as a tool equipped in your hand for skill bonuses. Find it under the Tools section in your inventory. I am sort of speechless a little bit regarding all of that. This game got all the game awards that it was nominated to. Yeah. So that happened. Yeah, this is the same ledger you found in the trash, only worse somehow. It makes you think about the letter, about the woman's handwriting, about not wanting to get out of bed in the morning. Note, mouse over to get item. Oh yeah, I know. Ooh, Inland Empire and empathy goes up, and authority goes down. Yeah, that's pretty good. Let's put it over here. A ledger and actually, I don't need the bag. I mean, I do need the bag, but I'll equip it when I need to. Oh, we got a bullets thing. I can read it now. It's just so tiny. The interface is... I like the interface. It mixes art and intuitiveness very well. I just wish that we had a different mouse cursor that was a little bit easier to tell when I'm hovering over things. Not just in this interface, but also in the game. I like mouse cursors. They are a very important tool. So we have White Morning over here. There's 20 minutes remaining here to get this bonus. So if I stop... Nah, I'm not gonna stop. We're gonna do it tomorrow. And besides, we might be able to wait until... wait those 20 minutes somehow. I think maybe it's the dialogue that that gets the time going. Okay, so that was... Wait, it's not in the interact. That's because it's over here. Okay. It's a ledger you found in the trash. A cabbage of papers hanging from... Yeah, it's basically the same. Slide the hidden drawer open. Fucking kill yourself, you fucking asshole. Close the permeables container. I don't know. That's an interesting thing. Compartment, not container. It's slightly, ever so slightly difficult to breathe once you've done so. The drawer is locked. Blue ink drips from the white pages in your hand. I wonder why I would need to go outside, what that was all about. I don't think anything bad would have happened. I think over here was better. So I'm gonna look at the fucking kill yourself bit. The words just crossed your mind somehow. I just blinked. You see two ticket stubs and a handmade card. We're gonna find the zoo has been closed for years, aren't we? Huh. Do we have any, Got a bunch of case files. We have the forms, but we don't need to do anything with that. We have the clipboard. Acidic stench of rotting. Yeah, it's just bad things. Let's read some files over here. The Next World mural. Let's see what it is. This one is relatively easy to reconstruct overnight on the 1202, a graffiti. I have looked into this since I commented that the singular version of graffiti is graffiti in English. Graffiti is an Italian word, and graffito is the singular version of graffiti, which is the plural version of graffito. And it just means things that are written. Well, I don't know if it means that in English. I know this word specifically because I majored in archaeology, and Roman sigillata not sigillata. Well, yes, sigillata, but pottery. Roman pottery tends to have graffitos. In Portuguese, we say graffitos. We pluralize it like that. And I'm pretty sure in English it might work like that as well in an archaeological context. So the pottery tends to have a graffito, so that it marks either who made it or who it belongs to, or rather who it was made for. And it's kind of an interesting thing. So we sometimes would find the Roman pottery with that, and that would be kind of cool. And it's very important actually to find that sort of stuff because you can correlate it with other things and be able to tell a bunch of other stuff. But that's in English. I looked into it, and it is the only context where it is used. You don't say a graffito when you're talking about graffiti, although you might say it in other languages, for all I know. Anyway, a mural appears on an 8-story tenement overlooking central Jamrock. The building is a sparsely inhabited ghost tower, part of a failed real estate development called Grand Coron. The time is just flying by. The mural is enormous. Two silhouettes, a man and a woman, are kissing. The text cut into their forms reads, "True love is possible only in the next world. For new people, it's too late for us. Wreak havoc on the middle class." People call it that thing and that fucking thing. It's visible for miles. In 2 days, the station's complaints desk gets clogged with a request to remove the bummer. You and your partner are assigned to the case. The graffiti crew is easy to track down. Only the belles lettres, that's French for beautiful letters? Lettering, as in not, I'm pretty sure lettre doesn't mean the male letter. It means the sort of like, A or B, those are letters. Anyway, characters, I suppose. Have the litterage of industrial paint to cover the surface. One of the graffiti artists is rumored to be rich, and that's underlined somehow, maybe. They take responsibility for the execution, but not the design. The ideologue of the quote, next world mural, unquote, as the crew calls it, remains an unknown. Wait, do I ever find out who came up with it? Or who came up with it, I suppose? The case files do not show you finding the author of the design. Breakthrough imminent, and the terrible sound of death. The crew agrees to clean up after themselves. However, your partner JV is against the removal, citing public support for conservation. This leads to a debate in Precinct 41, which then spreads to the streets of Jamrock, ending in a rare plebiscite organized by you and the rest of the row 3. I don't know what a plebiscite is. A plebiscite would be an homicide of people from the plebs. But a plebiscite, I don't know what that is. And also interesting that I mentioned archaeology, because conservation here is in precisely that sort of context, the conservation of historical information, which would, I suppose, would be a thing. It's kind of complicated. This is a very touchy subject. Well, not touchy, but it's complicated. It's a very complicated subject. What to preserve and what not to. And it's very it's very difficult, and archaeologists don't all agree with it, let alone everybody else that doesn't have a degree or an education in history or in anything related to that. The 9,000, which in this case I would assume the cops and whatnot. The 9,000 people subjected to the mural's message, all of Lakeside, Central Jamrock, and Villa Lobos, plus half of the eminent domain, participate in the vote. Oh, plebiscite here. It's just a vote. I didn't know that. Although the case begins with what appears to be a lot of rumbling on the streets as to how juvenile and stupid the mural is, given a choice between the two options. We have the option A, remove the mural, it is wrong, or keep the mural, it is right. Yeah, keep the mural, it is right. Let's see what that does. A staggering 78... Yeah, it's not my choice. It's just, I'm just checking what happened, I think. A staggering 78% of voters choose to keep it. Turns out the opposition were a loud minority, and that love truly is possible in the next world for new people, and it is too late for us. Huh. Stark reminder of reality, huh? Let's see what I have to say over here. All that remains is to wreak havoc on the middle class. The middle class are not to be blamed. It is human nature. I like it, but can't we wreak havoc on other nations, quote unquote, instead? And I have voted and possibly even lobbied to remove the thing because I don't believe in that rubbish one bit. I wonder what lobbied here means. Because lobbying is sometimes misunderstood of what it actually means, and depending on the language, I'm sure it has wildly different interpretations of what that word is. In English, lobbying simply means to exert pressure. In a political context, it means to exert pressure on people who actually have power. So you wouldn't lobby for a vote. You wouldn't like lobby to your neighbors to vote something. That's not lobbying. That's just propaganda or whatever. Not propaganda. Propaganda is a word that has negative connotations in some contexts, and for many different reasons. I'm just saying, political propaganda. It's what you're doing if you're trying to influence other people's votes. That's a thing that happens a lot. It's what I mean. You know what I mean? That's not lobbying. So I don't know if that is misused there. I imagine it is. Because I know that word is misunderstood a lot. I really like here the "it's human nature." This is a really interesting. I really like that. Let's just put it like that. I could ramble about that, but the text doesn't call for my ramble this time around, so I won't ramble about that. Let's see. So we have basically 3 choices here. None of them actually focus on the love in the next life, which I kind of thought was the most interesting one. The wreak havoc on the middle class, though, that is... I don't understand... Well, I don't fully understand the historical context of why that would be. I have the impression it might be just the sort of Stalinistic understanding of what communism is supposed to be. I suppose that might be related to that. Because it's very complicated. If you think of the middle class as being in the middle, then, and you're trying to wreak havoc on the middle class, and you're not trying to wreak havoc on the upper class, what is your objective? And in a system where the upper class and the lower class works together, supposedly, in a system where that happens, then wreaking havoc on the middle class would benefit both the upper class and the lower class, supposedly. Although I'm not familiar enough with all the things so to be able to know. Let's see. I must have to remove the thing because I don't believe in that rubbish one bit. I voted to remove the thing. But the thing is, I like it, but can't we wreak havoc on other nations instead? That also has a lot to do with sort of authoritarian and even nationalistic specific. Well, not nationalistic in the historical sense, but sort of, although maybe also in the historical sense, sort of. Yeah, it's just I use the word without thinking about what it actually means. The word nationalistic, but it does bear in that the sort of expansionist, imperialist, I suppose, is the word that I probably should have used. That has a very imperialist connotation. So I don't know. I must say that this one is probably what our character would go for, but because. It's not because of the second part. The second part I don't agree with, because it's not human nature. It's a function of the system. But the first part sort of points to the fact that it is a function of the system. The middle class is not to blame for anything, or people, individuals. I mean, it's kind of complicated. But when we're talking about sort of it as a principle, I would think I'm gonna make my character know and be aware of the influence of systems. And let's see what this one does. Did anyone ask you? Did anyone ask what you believe in? Man with the smelly toilet ledger. What do you want to tackle next? Are we done? Says our ledger to us. We are done. For now. Let's look at our... I'm clicking on here. It doesn't seem to work. Thought complete. That's why it didn't work. Because there was... Oh, this is the 15th Indo tribe. Because there was... The 15th Indo tribe was comprised of 8 kids from Fanborg, that's written in a different way than what we saw it written before, and North Jamrock, running from wild dogs in the valley, hiding scents under rocks, and stealing clothes off clotheslines, and sometimes even the copper wiring of phone lines. You may have been one of them. This must be a childhood memory. The 15th Indo tribe was your Indo tribe, set to rule Insulind. The rest of the kids are dead now. Car accidents and drug overdoses. Only you remain. Plus 10 cents for every green orb clicked. What? That's actually amazing. Learning cap for savoir-faire has been raised to 6. Heck yeah. That's really good. It's really good. Can we disable it? Yeah, we can forget it. I need to use skill points to forget it. This one is just giving me 1 psi. Learning cap of perception is raised. We're focusing a lot on the yellows things. Let's go with white morning over here. You see yourself... Does it... Oh, because the problem is with thing, and then the solution is that... What was the problem? Wild pines... Was it the... Oh, because of the... Yeah, we've got a memory. It is a memory. So the we don't know the solution. The problem is you see yourself from above. You're passed down on the blue tiles of the hostel room floor. Even from this distance, you can see your eyelids flutter at the mention of what? A great white object letting out its sweet smell like a lily of the valley. And I don't know what it is. I only know the song. Lily of the Valley. It's a very, very amazing song. I like it a lot. The little man has forgotten its name, but he still remembers the feeling. And look, he moves. The feeling animates him. He instinctively reaches out for the feeling's best friend, a bottle of Commodore Red. He puts on his disco clothes and gets smaller and smaller. That's the Furies. And while we're doing a research, we're going to lose authority. Little guy gets further and further away, and it's going to take 5 times. Let's internalize that and go into our room next episode because we're out of time for the day. So for right now, I'm Colonel RPG, and this has been Disco Elysium. I really hope you've enjoyed it. And if you did, go ahead and leave a comment. Like the video if you want to see the next episode come out sooner rather than later. But above all, thank you so much for watching, and I hope I'll see you next episode. Bye-bye.